Good morning, Mr. Freddie Sherman. Be careful out there driving, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, man, you look sharp with that nice shirt on. Lord have mercy. Thank you so much. Man, oh man. Thank you all for being on the call this morning. They're still coming on. Look at this, look at this. They must have heard who's going to be talking today. Oh my God, I tell you what. Hey, I want to thank everybody out here. Eileen, good morning, dear. Good seeing you in San Diego. Mr. Brian Baker, Regional Director. Sir, I saw you upline last night. I'll tell you about that later. It was funny. My dear friend. Crew, Miss Jones from South Carolina. What a wonderful lady she is. She's going for 200 points. She is closing out. She's closing it up. Hey, don't forget, anybody got promoted this week and got customers counts up, we want to know about it for Friday happy hour. Hey, Miss Caroline Baker, always faithful. Thank you, dear. Miss Christina, good morning. Mr. Dale Ranson, always on the couch with the headphones on. Let's see if he turns his head and look at the camera real quick. Mr. Dale Ranson, Mr. Dale Ranson. Good morning, Mr. Dave Culver, the professor. Thank you so much, Mr. David Wright, Mr. Freddie Sherman. I gave him a shout out. He's driving. Mr. Harrison Mill, thank you so much. Miss Joyce Brewer, thank you so much. Miss Candy Epperly, she's on 20 minutes early today. She wanted to make sure she didn't want to miss this call. She jumped on 20 minutes early. Congratulations, dear. That shows the people that wants it. Miss Kathleen Williams, good morning. Mr. Lance Kelly, good morning, sir. Mr. Payon in Japan, good morning, sir. Marie, good morning in San Diego area. Mr. Marvin Carter, Regional Director, thank you so much. Miss Pat Robinson in Oakland. Mr. Sam Foster down in the great Dallas area, hanging out with Mr. TD Jakes. Thank you so much. Sensational out in Florida. Where are you, young lady? Let me see what kind of glass you got on today. I got to flip through here. Let's all flip. Oh, there she go. There she go. Oh my goodness. Lord have mercy. That girl. Look at that girl. I tell you what, you are sensational. All right, let's leave Florida and head over to Elk Grove, California, to Frank and Patricia Bowman over there. God bless you guys. Thank you guys so much. Mr. Carter just jumped on. Mr. Carter down in San Diego just jumped on. Thank you so much. Miss Castro down in Phoenix, Arizona. That lady's amazing. Mr. Ryan Swallow up in Sacramento, California. Miss Tracy Gilmore, good morning, part of the Bakery organization. Miss Konohara over in Japan, good morning. Oh, that's right, it's good evening for them. No, it's early in the morning. Oh yeah, wow. Mr. Bill Bailey, good morning, sir. Miss Rose Guerrero, Regional Director, driving back from the Lake Tahoe event. Mr. Chris King, sir, Regional Director, they're both driving back from the event up in Lake Tahoe. Also, Miss Regional Director, Miss Luana Pinedo, good morning, also driving back. Mr. Bill Bailey, I just said hello to him. Oh, Regional Director, Miss Natasha Ismail. There she is, that superstar. There she is. Lovely lady, lovely conversation yesterday. I love how she started off with, oh my God, that was a great starter yesterday. I can't wait for you guys to hear the teacup, those that haven't heard about it yet. Hey, I also want to thank Miss Natalie Parr in Las Vegas. Thank you so much. Mr. Al Randolph in Oakland, California. Thank you so much. And Miss Ursula Allen, thank you for joining the call. Miss Belinda Batiste, what you doing, girl? Driving, got her laptop out. Look at her. She in her car getting show the plan to the dog, or is that a cat? Okay, she's showing anybody who'll listen to her. Bless her heart. God dog it, I love it. Hey, we got a great call lined up. As you guys know, I sent a text out early this morning just to let you know the lineup and who's going to be speaking today. This young man is amazing leader in ACN. I call him a friend because I've noticed him since he got started in our company, who he is and what he's going to be doing and building. Matter of fact, the first time I saw him was in the penthouse of his sponsor, who's another, I can't say that word, but he's very successful in ACN, yes. And I told him, I said, watch this guy. He's going to go somewhere with this business. There's going to be hundreds of thousands of people come through his lineage, like John, Jacob, lineage. His lineage is going to be deep and dark and wide, and he's going to have a great organization. And he's a special mentor to a lot of young people. And he's also was a stay-home father when he got started, and his mentor his daughter. And I have a great respect for any man that can stay home with his daughter and mentor her as a father should. That's what's wrong. Well, anyway, that's another subject. He's also a strong and gifted leader in San Diego. He's got one of the biggest organizations growing there. And matter of fact, it branched out to other countries and other states. He's also gone through he's one of the fastest growing teams in all of San Diego that I know. I call him a friend because you know what? He just says, whatever you need, Mr. Thomas, let me know. Pass me the ball, throw it to me. If you can't make it, you out of town, let me know. And see, that's what leadership. They stand up to the plate, Mr. Dwayne, like you do, and they get after it, and they're there to make sure everything is covered. And I'm telling you something, sometime I'm out of town, he covers, never said no. not thinking an excuse why I can't do it. And he never says no. See, that's what leadership's all about. Okay. Without further ado, my dear friend, regional director from San Diego, California, the great, the one and only, and compliment Mr. Julian Lewis. Yeah, yeah.
Good morning, Mr. Thomas.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
How are you doing? I already see how you're doing this morning.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
I'm carrying the ball. I'm carrying the ball.
I got you.
I'm watching ACN football.
Pass the rock.
ACN football. There we go. Don't fumble it.
Well, guys, that's funny. I was a running back in the day, sir. So I got you. Mr. Thomas, before I even get started, I just want to show my appreciation for you, for all of you that are on the call that get to work with Mr. Thomas personally. Please do not take his time for granted. And, you know, I think about me as a RD and how busy I am. And then I think about him and as an SVP, not only does he have his own organization, not only does he have his open line, but he's also mentoring other people's leaders. He's mentoring other RVPs, other SVPs. Well, you might think, well, why is he mentoring other SVPs? Because he's done it twice. He's been able to develop the business and get to the top of the company, not just here, but in a different company. So not only does he understand how to build, he understands people and how to develop into something more. And he's been able to accomplish that. He's helping me to do that with myself and my team. And we're honored and privileged to be able to have that type of relationship with you, sir. So I just want to thank you again. Okay. Sir, please don't take him for granted.
Thank you. And everybody, before he gets started, you get your seatbelts out because you're going to have to buckle up. I'm going to tell you right now, he is going to take y'all on a trip today. Y'all just have no idea. You better buckle up, buckle up. I need to get a harness to go this way like I'm going on a car, but I got the old harness, you know, in the old 65 Mustangs. I remember 65 Mustangs. There you go. Yeah, you go. That was the first year they put them in. Okay, there you go. There you go, Mr. Delran. All right, sir, back to you.
All right, and we're going to go into it. So I'm excited for this morning. We're going to talk about something that, you know, I don't think we've really touched on being on these calls. I've been on every single one of these calls since we kicked off. Started with the with all these interesting things that are happening in California since about March timeframe, and I'm sure we haven't really touched on this yet, and that's why I wanted to talk about it. Because a lot of times, you know, in our business, we'll talk about we all talk about the basics, but I think it's even more important to talk about the things behind the basics that'll get you to go where you need to go. Before I get into that, just to give you a real brief background, I was a senior systems engineer prior to doing ACN. I was making a six-figure income at my job. I didn't get involved with ACN because of money. I got involved because of time. I realized when my daughter was about to be born that time was more valuable than money because you never get it back. I could care less about a title. I could care less about a degree. I did all those things for a lifestyle that I was told by the people that were older than me that I could achieve. Ironically, I found out at six figures that it was a trap. If I ever lost my job, I would have a hard time finding another six-figure income job. And so that meant that as easy as I got my cars and my home, because it wasn't residual, I would have lost those things. At the same time, because my daughter was being born, because I was spending all my time at my job, my daughter would have grown up not knowing her father. That was a problem to me because I believe that most of the problems we have, a lot of the problems that we have in this world is because fathers don't have great relationships with their daughters. Then their daughters grow up to marry and date other idiots and create baby idiots. That's just my opinion. You don't have to believe it, but I believe it truly. So I needed to be home with my daughter. I wanted to pour into her. ACN supplied a vehicle. And you know what I loved? It wasn't guaranteed. See, some of you say, oh my gosh, I need a guarantee. No, I loved that it wasn't guaranteed because I realized that when you go to the gym, results aren't guaranteed. You got to put in the work. But the people that put in the work always get the results. And I realized that the people that were having success were people that I wanted to look up to because they were actually working. So what I want to share with you all this morning is I want to talk about where you're focusing your attention. Guys, this is going to be extremely important because attention is everything. So you know, when we talk about the gym, you talk about working out, most people will say, well, it's easy to work out. These are certain movements that most people can do, you know, pushing and pulling movements, whether you are working out at the gym or you do like me, I do body weight workouts, calisthenics. It doesn't matter. It's push pull workouts. You're moving in place. You're moving your body parts. Most people learned how to do that a long time ago. Well, if that's the case, then why don't most people do it? Because it has nothing to do with the movements. It has everything to do with your mindset. It has everything to do with your ability to think about what's challenging as a positive thing versus a negative thing. Do you see things as problems or do you see things as challenges? If you see things as challenges, we love challenges. So if you can shift that in your mind to think about it differently, then it will allow you to take the first step. So everything has nothing to do with mechanics. We can sit here all day and talk about ACN. We can talk about how simple it is to ask somebody for an opinion. It's so simple to ask someone, are you can I get your opinion on a video? And when they see it, they give us their opinion. That's simple, but we don't. It's not the mechanics. It's what's behind it. It's the mindset. So Eileen's on the call this morning, and I always joke with her because if I'm in the passenger seat and she's driving and we're about to go to, let's say we're going to a parking lot. We're going into a parking lot that's usually busy. In San Diego, at Mission Valley parking lot where IKEA is extremely busy. If we're going into that parking lot and she knows it's busy, she used to have a habit of saying, oh my gosh, it's busy. I know I'm not going to find good parking. Has anyone ever done that before? Anybody? Okay, so I used to do that too. And I got into a habit. I don't know why I did this, but this was back when I started driving and I was 18 or 19. I started saying, you know what? I'm actually going to find good parking. So it changed my attention. Now, this is going to be a really important topic. So I hope you guys are with me wherever you're at, able to focus. So here's what would happen. Every single time Eileen would say, we're not going to get good parking, we wouldn't get good parking. And then every single time I would say, check this out, I always get good parking. She just thought I was being cocky. I always get good parking. And then she would get upset because guess what would happen? I'd always get good parking. It got to the point where our intentions, her intention and my intention, were fighting each other. And sometimes her intention would win and we wouldn't get good parking. So you know what I would wind up doing? I'd drop her off at the spot and then I'd say, I'll be right back. I'm going to get my good parking. Are you guys getting this? So it's hilarious because you don't realize how powerful you are. Now, here's what I mean by this. So many times people think that bad things happen to them and it's just because. And then so many times people think that good things happen to them and it's just because. It's just because of this thing called luck. You have good luck today or you have bad luck today. And they don't realize that everything that's coming into your world, like Natasha said yesterday, is because of you. 100%. Everything that's coming into your world is because of you. And we don't realize that we talk about fear or worry. When your thoughts about fear and worry, you get stuff into your world that aligns with your thinking. How you're feeling, write this down because some of you don't realize. I mean, I know in the Bible it teaches you how to pray. What's funny is the King James Version kind of condensed how you're supposed to pray. So most people are praying without really knowing how to pray because the King James Version took a bunch out to shorten it. And it has to do with, and some of you might know the scripture talking about not being able to be of two minds. How many of you know what I'm talking about? But do you know what the two minds are? See, most people don't know what the two minds are. See, the two minds that they're talking about, and it's not just the Bible, it's in every single spiritual conversation across the planet. The two minds are your brain and your heart. See, when your minds are of two, you cannot get what you want in life. But when the mind and the heart are focused on intent on the same thing, you attract it into your life. The universe gives it to you. And see, most people don't realize that that's what they're talking about. And so when you know in your mind and your heart, listen to this, it's going to sound funny, but when you know in your mind and your heart that you're going to get bad parking, guess what you get? You get bad parking because the universe gives it to you. But when you know in your mind and your heart that you're going to get good parking, surprise, the universe gives it to you. I can say a name, and some people are going to get angry, and some people are going to get happy. But I'm going to say this name because today is a special day in our nation. It's election day. So I'm going to say a name, Donald Trump. Donald Trump. See, I said Donald Trump, and some of you were like, Donald Trump. Some of you were like, Donald Trump. And some of you are trying to look at the person in the screen. They can't see you. You can only see it on the gallery, and you're ready to fight. But I want to tell you about something about Donald Trump. Donald Trump understands this, what I'm telling you right now, more than most. Donald Trump doesn't care what you think. Can we agree that's true? My mom's from Brooklyn. She said, New Yorkers never care what you think, and Donald Trump never has. And guess what? He said he was going to win. He believed it in his mind and was in alignment with his heart, and it happened. So it has nothing to do with it has nothing to do with if you're holy. It has nothing to do with any of that. King David did a lot of bad stuff. He wanted a woman, and so he sent the woman's husband to the front lines to die so he could have that man's woman. Can we agree that's kind of messed up? So why is he in the Bible? Why are you talking about? Because he had his mind and his heart were in alignment, and he achieved great things. It doesn't talk about you having to be the best person. It doesn't talk about good or bad. It talks about every human being has the same ability to attract in your world. So if your world is a bunch of madness, is it because you're thinking you want a bunch of madness? No. It's because you're thinking you don't want a bunch of madness. I hope you guys are catching this. See, when you think about what you don't want, the universe doesn't hear in terms of what you do or don't want. All it hears is what you are thinking about most. So if most of your thoughts are about worrying, I don't want bills, I don't want problems, I don't want anything like that, you're going to get more of it. And then you're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm so unlucky. No, you're not. You're powerful beyond measure. You just don't realize that you have your focuses on the wrong things. See, it's not that it's not working for you. It's working well for you. You just don't know how it works. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. So I got a video for you guys to take a look at, because intention is important. But you know what? How can you focus or get your intentions right if you don't know how to pay attention? Most of us are distracted all the time. We can't even pay attention anymore. Our attention span is short. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you a quick, and if I'm pretty sure I can share my video already, but I'm going to show you really quick something to take a look at. And I want you to pay close attention. I'm going to bring this up. If you've seen this before, don't ruin it for everyone, okay? But if you haven't seen this, I want you to focus your attention on the blue car, okay? Because they're gonna be talking about some of the details of this blue car. And I want you to see how well your attention span or your attention works. Is that cool, guys? So we can do this together? All right, so let me bring this up. You guys can check this out. And I want you to pay attention, okay? This is very important. Pay attention. You guys hear it?
To test just how much attention the attention-stealing design of the new Skoda Fabia actually steals, we left one parked on this ordinary road in West London. We wanted to see if its sharp crystalline shapes, bold lines, and lower, wider profile would attract the desired level of attention. Will the 17-inch black alloy wheels stop passers-by in their tracks? Will the angular headlights attract the attention of other road users? Will a crowd gather to check out its fresh, sporty look? Well, not quite. But did the attention-stealing design distract you from noticing that the entire street has been changing right before your very eyes? Don't believe us? Have another look. Did you spot the van changing to a taxi? How about the scooter changing to a pair of bicycles? Or the lady holding a pig? Let alone the fact that the entire street is now completely different. Didn't think so.
So why did I show you guys that? See, when we don't realize what we focus our attention on, oftentimes we can't see things around us, okay? And here's what I mean by that. When you're focused on worrying about things you don't want to happen, you can't see all the amazing things around you that are happening. When your focus and your attention is on all the challenges or the quote unquote problems of 2020, you can't see all the changes around you allowing for opportunities in 2020. When you're so stuck on how we used to do things, you won't be prepared on how to excel and how we do things in modern day. You know, it's funny because the leaders of yesterday usually aren't the leaders of today or tomorrow. And ironically, it's because a lot of the leaders of yesterday focus on things they used to do yesterday versus realizing where the world is going today and being able to adopt to where the world is going today so that they can be relevant today leading into the future. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because we're in a new norm. We're not going back. I'm hearing people say, I heard about a leader over the weekend saying that Zoom is just a handy tool that you can apply to your tool belt. It's not a handy tool in California. It's how we do everything. See, just because you were a leader, just because you're an SVP back in 1993 doesn't mean that you're relevant today. See, the leaders of today are going to outproduce the leaders of yesterday because they're not in reality. Reality is Al Thomas is on Zoom every single day. Reality is you can plug into every single country in one sitting and not leave your house. The reality is this is doing business right now. So why would you focus on what people did back in the day when your attention should be on how to have success now? See, it's not that technology or Zoom is special. It's that this is what we use to connect. We've always connected with people. I hear people getting on Zoom telling people to go to a coffee shop. Wait a minute, you're on Zoom telling me to go to a coffee shop. I can't meet you in a coffee shop in California. So how are you going to help me build my business? See, it's about being creative and knowing where we're going. And if you don't have your attention on the right things, how are you going to be able to do that? What is attention? Attention is the behavioral and cognitive process of selectively concentrating on a discrete aspect of information. That's a whole lot. And some of you are like, man, I'm not going to be able to write that down. I feel you. I wouldn't either. So let me post it up for you. This is what attention is. Take a screenshot. So it's not about where you're meeting people. It's just about, are you meeting people? You guys getting that? It's not about where, it's about, are you? Are you quick to adapt? If they eliminate your ability to meet people out in public, can you adapt and meet people in a virtual space? Where are you focusing your attention? Are you upset because you can't do meetings anymore outside in public? Or are you focused on the problem? Or are you focused on how amazing it is that everyone is now using this platform and it's easy to get people on? Now, what about this definition? So the act or power of fixing the mind on something, careful listening or watching, pay attention to what happens next, notice, interest or awareness, attract attention, careful thinking about something so as to be able to take action on it. This matter requires immediate attention. What matters acquire immediate attention. And when you figure that out, are you focusing your intention on it? Intention is a mental state that represents a commitment to carrying out an action or actions in the future. Intention involves mental activities such as planning and forethought. What are you focused on? See, if you have intention towards being an SVP, that means that you have carved out time in your schedule where you do ACN consistently every single day. If you have intention on building a different body, you have carved out time to prep food, to track your macros, micros, or your calories, to focus on the result. See, anything that you have intention on deserves your attention. If you do not understand those two things, you will not get the result. See, your whole DNA is designed to be able to create your reality. God made you in his image. And so if God created the world, you are built to create your own. See, you create your own issues, you create your own problems, and you create your own results based on the intention that you put out on the world and that you're taking care of or paying attention to what you want to create. See, that's extremely important because it has nothing to do with ACN, but everything to do with ACN. And you know what's so beautiful about this business? I'm not allowed to say that it's easy. But what I can say is hard was being an engineer. What I can say was hard was before I was an engineer, I was a technician. And before that, I had to pull cable. And if you've ever pulled power cable, if you even know what that is, that's heavy duty stuff. Bending cable and doing things like, it's crazy. That was hard. See, working minimum wage is hard because it's hard to pay bills. Jim Rohn said, what's easy, write this down, easy is something you can do. My question to you is it easy to pick up the phone and make a phone call? Yes. Is it easy? Is it easy to click onto a Zoom link? Is it easy to send out a video? Is it easy to ask someone for their opinion on social media, on Messenger or Instagram, a direct message or any of those? Yes. So I'm not allowed to say that ACN is easy, but ironically, all the things you have to do in ACN are pretty damn easy. So my question to you is, what's holding you back? Is it what you have your attention on? Are you focused on your problems? Are you so distracted by your problems that you can't see the opportunity or the blessing that is 2020? See, that's my question to you. Because if you can switch your attention from problems to opportunity, and you can focus your intention on going SVP, then everything around it starts to become attracted to you, and things start to seem pretty darn easy. A lot of times we're trying to force it to happen in the way we want versus being flexible to the universe giving it to you the way it's going to happen. See, I heard George Zalicki over the weekend. He said something important. He said, when you reap, when you sow, you reap. Okay. But the way the universe works with thought, intention, and ideas and energy is that if you sow over here, if you sow seed over here, it doesn't mean you're going to reap over here. Oftentimes when you sow over here, you don't know where you're going to when it comes to your building the business, you're going to reap, but just don't expect it to be in the same place that you sowed seed. The work is going to happen. Why am I saying that? To tie it all together. There's an equation that works for the universe to get results. And it's only going to take me a few minutes to share it. And I would love to share it with you guys if it's okay. Can I share it with all of you? It doesn't matter what faith you're a part of. Every faith, and you can do the research because I did all last month. Every single faith, religion that I researched, they all basically give this foundation, these fundamentals. And so I'm really excited because it's very, very simple. All right, it's very simple. And so what I'm talking about is the equation to receiving what you want. All right, so this is my own opinion, but I want to share it with you because this is out of love, and this is how I've been able to create some amazing things in my life, in my personal life, with my daughter, with building a business, just all together. Okay. You have to have, first thing you have to have, if you're taking notes, is faith. Listen, and I'm not just talking about faith as in, just in a spiritual, I'm talking about it as scientific. You guys are understand in a second. This is an equation. So you have to have faith. The next thing you have to have in this equation is you have to have sacrifice. How many of you notice that in practically every religious scripture is talking about sacrifice? It's very interesting. All right. So you have faith and you have sacrifice. All right. Now I want to put something, side note. Fear is negative faith. All right. In other words, fear is faith. It's just faith that something bad is going to happen. Okay. The most written sentence in the Bible is fear not. I don't think that's on accident. So you have to have faith and you have to have sacrifice. All right. So I want you to think about every single, so now you have faith and sacrifice. Now the last part of the equation is your mind and your heart have to be one focus. If your heart feels one way, your mind feels another, It's not going to work. It's a disconnect. If your mind feels one way in your heart, it's not going to work. Your mind and your heart, the two minds have to be of one accord. All right. So if you have your mind and your heart of one accord, you have the sacrifice and you have the faith. Guess what happens? You get the result. So Dr. Dispenza, I write that name down, Dr. Dispenza. You can look him up on YouTube. He talks about it in a scientific way on how, ironically, they figured out scientifically that when someone is grateful for something that they're going to get in the future, but they are grateful for it in the present, that they usually get it. Do you know what that's a science? They broke it down, but it's a scientific description of faith. Faith is knowing that it's there without having to see it. Are you guys getting this? So when you put those together, I want you to think about, this is going to mess you up. So if you think about a story in the Bible about how we have grace. So if you understand the Christian faith and how we have grace, what happened, and I'm going to really make this brief. What happened is God sent his son to earth, and his son sacrificed his life, and that created grace for us. I'm just keeping it real short because this is important. God follows rules that he created for the universe. I'm telling you, I promise you this is, so look, I remember my father telling me having a child is like having your heart running around outside of your body. And I didn't understand that until I had my daughter. God gave his son his heart. So the son was the physical, the heart. The father, the God, was the mind, the thought. And when it was time to sacrifice, Jesus asked his father, do I really have to go through this? His father said yes. So the mind, the father, and the heart, Jesus, were of one accord with the intent of salvation for us through sacrifice. I hope you guys are catching this, because it's everything in this universe. The only way to bring forth new life in the world is a sacrificial pain. The sacrifice is the pain, the labor pains that a woman willingly has to go through. And that brings forth new life. The sacrifice that you have to go through in ACN is being uncomfortable in doing work with your faith on the result. Are you guys, it's all the same. So when I bring it back full circle to the parking lot, going into the parking lot, knowing that there's going to be a parking space in my heart, in my mind, and driving there, knowing that, that's the faith part. Driving there is the work. And the result is there's always a parking spot. And you might want to think that's mumbo jumbo. You might want to think that that's not real, but your thought and everything in that realm is more real than anything that's been materialized in this physical world. And so all I'm saying is this: if all you've done all your life is worry, and you don't have anything amazing in your life, why would it hurt you to go 100% in the other direction? If you already don't have what you want, what if you start practicing having faith and positive thinking and positive focus and intention and opportunity versus problems and opportunity versus challenges and reward and the ability to go through struggle to get what you want versus I don't want to struggle, and the opportunity becomes stronger because you go through a challenge versus saying I don't want the challenge, to be able to go through the dirt. Gray Provenzano said everyone has to go through the dump. And a lot of people see that as a bad thing. But if you're going through the dump, you can change the word dump for gym. You can change the word dump for good nutrition. You can change the word dump for learning a skill. It doesn't matter. But if we stop calling it a dump and calling it a blessing to be able to go through, to be forged in fire, to become the best person that you're designed to become, all of a sudden it changes your thought pattern, which changes your intention, and it focuses your attention on the thing that's going to get you what you need in life, to become the person you were designed to become so that you can bless others in the process of this thing we call life. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. But I pray that you take that equation and apply it to your life, because it's not mumbo jumbo. It's definitely real. And I see it in Al Thomas. I see it in all the greats. And it's something that they either intuitively understood or they learned through their faith. But either way it goes, it creates a result. And all of you have the ability as human beings, your God-given right to be free and to be blessed, to do the exact same thing. Mr. Thomas, sir, I'll pass the call back to you.
Wow, man, I got page after page after page, probably, wow. Intention. When you were talking about intention, it reminded me, I was having a call with some leaders earlier today, and it reminded me, they were laughing at me because I told them, look, I took my daughter out to dinner last night and made a pact with her to teach me intentionally, to learn something I don't know that she knows. So I have an appointment with her at 1 o'clock today to learn from my daughter. And so it's a scheduled appointment. So I'm here to learn, and I want to be intentional what I learn because I know she knows how to do what I want done. So she's going to teach me how to do it. So leaders are always intentionally want to learn. So many people get to a certain position and they don't grow, and you can't help them. You can't do this. They don't want to, they get so resentful, revenge, all that other stuff. But I intentionally want to learn. Age has got nothing to do with it. School is always, professionals are always learning how to better themselves. It's amazing. We get to a certain level, we just don't want to learn nothing from nobody. We don't want to be intentional. I intentionally want to learn. So that hit me real hard. That's so true. And I was just sharing that earlier today. Folks, I tell you what, I don't know about you, but where are you focusing your attention? Remember what he said, wherever you focusing it on. Always talking what you don't want, and that's what you're attracting. It's what you say you don't want. Don't you get it? So attract what you want by saying what you want to have. You know, I remember, oh boy, I can tell you some stories behind that one. But anyway, I just want to thank him. Faith. You must have faith. Number 2, sacrifice. Fear is negative faith. Are you guys catching the day? That was powerful. You know, faith, fear not. That's also biblical. But you guys got to go back to the channel and listen to this over and over, because you need to break it down, stop it, slow it down, take notes on it, because there was a wealth of knowledge here that was so amazing. And the sacrifice that he made for us. Oh my God. I was flipping through it, watching people's facial expression, Mr. Lewis, and they were glued to every word you said because it was so power packed. I hope you guys learned, because it just brought a lot of new stuff to me, remembrance. But I want to thank you, sir, for what a great call you did today. Folks, your mind and your health, heart, excuse me, must be focused, must be on the same accord. Wow. So with that, folks, can we give Mr. Julian Lewis some love? Come on, let's give him some love. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give him the crown, because he deserves a crown. He deserves a crown. He deserves a crown. He deserves a crown. Wow. Come on, let's give some more love to him. Wow. Come on, this is Tuesday. Come on now, let's show it to him. You know, that just reminds me of a story. God, I thank you. Man, I gotta share the story. Woo, man, that was spirit-filled. I don't know if I should share this. Let me give you guys a story. Can I I just want to close on a story. Guy died. No, I better not show that story. Anyway, I want to thank Mr. Lewis for an outstanding. You know, that means he's learning. He's expressing what he learned. And you got to be a doer of the word. And by doing that, it's just a blessing. I got to tell a story. This guy who died and went to heaven, and everybody was in heaven. We're all in heaven. And all of a sudden, the good Lord was calling out names. And there was a crown. There was crowns on. When I saw this crown, it reminded me of the story. There's all these crowns were on stage. He had them on a platform, on a table. And there was this huge crown. The rest of them were small. This big, huge crown was sitting on the table. And as he was calling off names to get the crowns to come to heaven, he called off a name, and everybody thought this person will get the crown. And his name was Billy Graham. And Billy Graham came up to get his crown. And they gave Billy Graham a regular crown. And he sat down. And everybody said, oh my God. Oh my God. Who got the big crown? We thought Billy Graham was going to get it because he witnessed more people than anybody. It had to be Billy Graham. For 40 years, he's been talking to people. And then all of a sudden, the Lord called off another name that nobody recognized. And that gentleman came up, and guess God gave him the biggest crown. And everybody's wondering, who was that man that got that crown? Do you know who he was? He was a man that talked to Billy Graham. In network marketing, the senior vice president, we won't get the big crown. The crown will be given to the person to talk to that person who became a senior vice president. Go get your crown. Wow, Mr. Lewis, you moved me. Tomorrow morning, as a matter of fact, tonight at 6 o'clock, we will be back here tonight at 6 o'clock doing the 1 through 10. That's 5 hours after my lesson with my daughter, teaching old man new tricks. See, that's how I am, because you got to be like Mr. Lewis, so you got to be able to pivot. Some of you can't pivot because your ego and your pride's too big, because you think you're at a certain level. You think you don't know. You got to keep pivoting. Mr. Lewis, once again, thank you. Tomorrow morning, we'll have Mr. Dwight Williams back with us. But today, I'm going to go back through this, spend about 15 minutes in prayer after this. So God bless you all. Golly, I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. Folks, one more time, can we show Mr. Julian Lewis what a great job, what a knowledge, a word of wisdom, a word of knowledge. Matter of fact, that was just called word. For y'all know what I'm talking about. That was just a word right there from the throne. Well, listen, God bless you all. Have a great day. Go out and do some of your business. You have plenty of day. You got the whole day to go build your business. Tonight at 6 o'clock, we'll be back doing the 1 through 10. And I tell you what, I'm still working on getting me a crown as well. So God bless you all, Mr. Lewis. Academy Award for you today, sir, because I'm going to tell you something. That was an amazing message. That was several messages mixed into one big message. And I tell you what, it all came together as one. So thank you so much. God bless everybody. Have a great day. I'll see you tonight at 6 o'clock with a guest or two on tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Coast time. Once again, Mr. Lewis, love you, my friend. Thank you for that message. God bless. Have a great day. Do something in your business.